everyone, it's Sarah and welcome back to my channel. So I did a poll a few days ago asking you guys what content you want to see next, and a lot of you said that you wanted to see mother related content. So I definitely listened, and today I am back with Halloween lunch ideas for your little ones, and I'm so excited because I absolutely love doing these for my own kids. You can kind of get away with doing like weird, crazy, different things in their lunches that you usually wouldn't do throughout the year. So each of today's lunches are going to be covering a main food, a side, a dessert, as well as fruits and vegetables. So we've got everything covered. You've still got one more week left of school. I'll be rating these lunches with low to high effort depending on how much work you need to put into it. You've got 5 different ones to choose from today. But I'm super excited to get started, so let's go ahead and dive right in. Here are just some examples of the boxes that we're going to be using. I just really wanted to showcase a wide array of different ones that you can use. You can use separate ones like this, or you can even use one that's like this, that's all open. However, you will need some separators if the type of food requires it. And then this one I got from Walmart. It's from the Systema brand, and it does have 3 different compartments. We've got our most widely known bento boxes right here, which actually already separates the food, which just makes it a lot easier. But again, you don't have to have anything like this. It's really child friendly. My kids have been using this one since they were, I want to say like kindergarten, 1st grade, and these little notches right here make it really easy for them to open up. And then this one is Bento. I picked this one up from Target, and this is the one that we use the most just because the size of the compartments really work for us. I have a 7 and 8-year-old, and this is perfect. It does come with like an ice pack that goes underneath here, but I never really use it. I will try to link all of these in the description box below, or something very similar. If you guys are interested, make sure to check that out. So we're gonna work on the Frankenstein bento box first. I'm gonna show you guys everything that we're going to need. First, you'll need some lettuce, sea salt chips. I'll be using the green ones specifically, but if you have those black bean nacho chips, that's even better. Those are the ones I wanted to use, but I ran out. I ate them all. Green tortilla, nori. Basically, it's the sushi wrap, some cheese, whatever condiments you want to put on your wrap. I've got these gummies right here. I have a Lego one specifically that I want to cut in half to use for bolts on either side of Frankenstein's head, but you can also use pretzels or Twizzlers. Green Jello, candy eyes, gummy worms, blueberries. Kitchen scissors, you want to make sure that they're made for food, or you don't want to use your craft scissors for this one. And then here are the boxes that we're going to be using. First, we'll be working on Frankenstein. And I completely forgot about this. You're gonna need some kind of deli meat. First, I'm gonna put my mayo down. Lettuce. Then the meat. My cheese disappeared. Where did it go? Found it. Just gonna break it in half, and then we're gonna wrap it up. So it looks like this thus far. So here it is. I'm gonna go ahead and cut it in half because this full-size one will not fit in the bento box that we're using. Now I'm just gonna be putting this bottom half underneath so my son can still have the entire tortilla. So here's the bento box. I'm just gonna lay some lettuce in here on the bottom. So it looks like that. So that's the bottom. Now we're gonna make Frankenstein out of this one, and we're gonna set it on top so you won't even see the bottom. So we don't need to worry about that one. Then I've got my seaweed. We're gonna cut out his hair. So you kind of just like measure how much hair you're gonna need. And I'm gonna make it enough so that I can wrap it all the way around. Enough so that it can get tucked in on the bottom. Just cutting out little triangles. Just gonna put it around just like so. We're gonna make sure that you put this one on this side. You can actually get water to kind of stick this and seal it together. It sticks down almost like a glue. So there we go. I am so sorry, guys. I'm forgetting so many things that we need. Okay, so you're gonna need some decorating gel. Some cute little brows, and then a nose, and then his like zigzaggy type of mouth. Then with a little tool right here. Again, you can do this with a knife. All I'm doing is cutting out like a little hole so that the eye can actually sit in something. Doesn't have to be perfect because it will be covered up. Our eyes, I'm gonna pop them in, or I can press them down too. So there is Frankie. And then with the additional lettuce that you've got, you can just kind of fold him up and put him in place so it can kind of encase him and he's not like sliding around losing body pieces. So there. Pretty painless, huh? And then we're gonna take this Lego, gummy Lego. Hopefully it'll cut in half. Perfect. Okay, so now it looks like a little bolt. Put it right on his sides. You can use pretzels or Twizzlers. So for the smaller Tupperware, I'm going to be doing a side, which are going to be these chips right here. I'm gonna pull out all the green ones. There we go. Easy enough. Next, we've got this one to fill. We'll be doing both the dessert and the fruits. And so for the dessert, I've got this little Jello, and it started melting because it's been sitting on the counter. I'm gonna be throwing some worms and eyeballs in it. Just gonna dunk it right in. Try to push it in with my knife. And then I'm gonna throw a couple of these eyeballs in there. Reminds me of like rotting flesh. And then I'm going to be resealing the top of this with some saran wrap later. Then I'm just gonna be doing some blueberries. I wanted to do a dark fruit so that can kind of go with the theme we've got going on. And that's that. So here's our finished Frankenstein lunch. I'm super obsessed with this one. He turned out super cute. So moving on to the next bento box. This one's going to be monster themed, and I'm going to be using this particular box right here. And then you're going to need some spaghetti, of course. I've got mine on the pot right now. A little bit of lettuce, an apple, Twizzlers, a light colored pudding, tomato sauce, peanut butter, purple food coloring. You can use any color you'd like. So here's my spaghetti noodles. I'm just gonna go ahead and put the food coloring right in it. This is one of my daughter's favorite colors. Swirl it and make sure you use a glass or ceramic bowl because you do not want to stain a plastic bowl. The key is mixing it as quickly as possible so that the dye gets on a bunch of noodles. So it's pretty much done. That's what it looks like. A slew of different shades. And I'm gonna go ahead and just pop it in just the perfect amount. And then this is actually already cooked up and seasoned. I just ended up putting it back in here so I can take it and pour it straight in here. Don't wanna cover all of the noodles. Probably should have put some on the bottom so that the noodles can be on top. And I'm just gonna take your lettuce and stick it in one of the slots. Here's another thing I forgot again. I'm sorry guys. I'm terrible at listing our ingredients. We're gonna color this purple. A little baby drop. Mix that up. Now I'm gonna have to use a spatula to scrape this out. Just take whatever amount we need and slosh it right on top. Next, we're going to be working on the monster apple. Cut it in like slices. I'm going to be using peanut butter. You can use either frosting or flavored cream cheese, whatever you'd like. But I've got my Twizzlers here that's going to act as a teeth. I'm just gonna cut these up in little tooth-sized pieces. Excuse my purple finger here. You wanna get them pretty small. And then you're gonna take whatever your sticky glue base is and kind of just spread it. So make sure you only do one side. Take the so-called teeth and just start placing them. And then you're gonna place this one right here. But here's what this looks like. I'm just gonna be placing that right here. And then I've got this banana cream flavored pudding. So I'll be doing another drop of purple and mixing that right in. I'm just gonna go ahead and pop it into both of these slots right here. And then I really cannot stand this whole spaghetti situation here, so I think I'm gonna redo it. There, this is how I wanted it to look. So here's our finished monster box. I really like this one because it's fairly quick to do. So we're moving on to another one. It's going to be the Skellington one. So we're going to be using this box, and I just have a few little separators already in there. You can just use little Tupperwares you can get from anywhere, or some silicone cupcake liners, or you can just use regular ones. You don't have to have the silicone ones, just to help separate everything. So I've got some chocolate cake right here, all crumbled up, broccoli, frosting, peanut butter, jelly, preferably a dark one like grape or blackberry. Some more of these veggie straws. We're gonna be using the yellow ones this time to kind of signify bones, gummy worms, and a dark fruit like grapes, blackberries. So get your cutting board and then your 2 pieces of bread, and you're just gonna cut out Skellington's face. So I'll be using my bento cutter here. If you don't have one, you can just use the tip of like a steak knife or something. It should be just as sharp. Doesn't have to be perfect. It looks almost like a teardrop. So just clean out everything. And you can just smooth it out by patting it in gently. It's much easier than trying to cut everything out. Okay, here's what it looks like so far. For the nostrils, I'm just gonna kind of wiggle the blade around instead of creating a hole because I think I will mess that up. Now we're going to do the mouth. Again, it's going to be one of these type of motions instead of cutting out an actual shape. So here's the face so far. I'm gonna put the jelly on this portion and then the peanut butter on the back side. His face is not going to be as pronounced, so I think I'm going to be using some decorating icing to actually finish out the fine lines. We're gonna have to cheat because this is way harder than I expected it to be. Already messed up. And then we're gonna do the jelly. If you had like Nutella, that would be perfect too. Set this right on top. So it doesn't look too bad, but we want to get it a little bit more refined. So we've got our decorating gel. I mean, technically you could have done this all along and just drew the eyes out. However, you would not be seeing the jelly portion and you'd be using out way too much of this. There he is. So for the dessert, we're going to make a little cake ball. Not necessarily cake pop because it's not going to be coated in chocolate. Don't need a lot, just enough for a little mini cake ball. Think of like a size of a cake pop. Just need a drop. Here it is all mixed up. It's just gonna pour in a little bit of this cake crumbs. Enough to get it like hardened up so you can form it into a ball shape. Just gonna start rolling it. I know it's super messy, it's gonna get everywhere. So it's like a grayish, brownish, dirty ball. And then we're gonna take a worm and put it right in the middle. Kind of make it look like it's coming out of here. So here's what this looks like. I just placed the worm right on top. And I'm gonna sprinkle a little bit more dirt on top. So here's the box. We're gonna put this one, I think right here. I'm gonna kind of squish it in the corner. And then remember the broccoli, we're gonna slide that right into this corner. And then we're gonna take this little tray right here and put in the chips. For the fruit, we're gonna use this yellow one and we're gonna squeeze it in this little area. I'm just gonna cut up some grapes. They're gonna be pretty stuffed in there, so they shouldn't be going anywhere. So here's the finished Skellington. I really love how everything can fit in a small box like this and we still cover our fruits, our sides, and our veggies. Everything is still pretty snug in there, so nothing should be moving around. The only thing I'll be doing is putting the lid on these chips just to ensure that they do not get wet. So now we're moving on to the ghost themed one. For this one, you're going to need some sticky rice. If you don't have sticky rice, you can make your regular white rice and just put additional water in it. Or if you already have your white rice made, just throw in a little bit of cream cheese in it and it'll become sticky. Almost like a sushi type of rice. That's what you need, essentially. You need something that's going to form into a mold. And then you'll be needing some more nori, any fruit that you want, because I'm going to be using this cute little ghost pick that I got from Dollar Tree. I'll leave that haul up on the top for you guys. If you have a bunch of cute stuff you can use in your bento boxes. Marshmallows. These ones are supposed to be ghost shaped, but they look more like little droplets of poop. You can just use the regular jumbo marshmallows. And then you'll need some type of sauce. You can use ranch, but I'll be using honey mustard. A ghost mold, a pretty simple one. I'll be using this one down here. But if you don't have a mold, you can just create this shape on your own. It's a pretty standard, easy shape to make. So I've got this little face cut out here for my seaweed. However, you can just use scissors. It doesn't have to be perfect. I just already happen to have this. Decorating icing, black food coloring, some type of veggie. I'll be using broccoli, boiled egg. I've already got it all nice and cut up, and try to keep your yolk intact. Lastly, I've got my chicken nuggets. So first we're gonna go ahead and work on the rice and pack it right into this mold. So now that it's pretty much packed in there, I'm gonna go ahead and let it chill in the fridge just so that the shape can solidify. Next, we're going to take our eggs that are all nicely cut up into pieces. You just wanna get it into pretty much sizes just like this. Go ahead and drop a couple of black food coloring in it. So essentially I'm just trying to create a dark background for the ghost. Put this egg right on here and put that to the side for now. We're moving on to the grapes. We're just gonna take our little ghost pick here and put a few grapes right on. Maybe we'll put it sideways so we can fit more. It's just like that. We're gonna squeeze this in right here. Then in this little spot, we're going to stick our little ghost marshmallow. And the slot next to that, we're going to put in our honey mustard. We're just going to be coloring it up black so it can match the rest of the theme. For the upper portion, we're gonna go ahead and put our chicken nuggets in. See how they're kind of shaped like ghosts. And then our broccoli, we're gonna tuck in the corner up here. So these are supposed to look like trees. And as far as veggies go, I always like doing everything but the bagel seasoning. They like their broccoli air fried. So for the marshmallow, we're gonna draw his little face. Just going to dot 2 eyes. And then now we're gonna cut out the eyes for the chicken nuggets and the ghost. If you don't have a little punch like this one, you can just cut them out with traditional scissors. So you just need to do 3 total for the rice ghost and then the 2 chicken nugget ghosts. And then take my tweezers and place it where I need it to go. You can just pat it down with your finger just to ensure that it's settling right into the texture of the nugget. I know this one requires a bit more effort. However, the turnout is well beyond worth it. There are the 2 nuggets. So now it's time for the ghost. If your children happen to not like hard-boiled eggs, you can also pack the bottom with lettuce to kind of help cushion the shape of the ghost. You don't have to use eggs. But here we go. This is like the most intense part of the whole thing. Hallelujah. So we're just gonna clean up the sides. So there is his cute face. So now we're going to be taking the eggs, and this is going to act as our moon. And then we're gonna take these eggs and kind of just spread them around. So here is the ghost one. I really do love this one. I just think that it's so adorable. Moving on to the monster fish themed one. You'll just need any type of sub-type bread. I just have a Cuban loaf, deli meat of your choice, and cheese. Condiments, I've got mayo and honey mustard. Apples, Twizzlers light pudding, candy eyes, blue food coloring, blue sprinkles, pink sprinkles, a star stencil, goldfish, lettuce. So I went ahead and cut a small piece off of that larger loaf, spread some mayo on it, deli meat, place some lettuce in it. I chose some pieces that kind of resemble like a fish tail. These are the fins on the side, and this is what's gonna be the tail. This is going to be our veggies. This is the part that's going to make the teeth. You could just use a regular knife for this. And then we're gonna place the top on. So here's what it looks like so far. So as you can see, his jagged teeth are pretty much sticking out of his mouth. And make a little hole. So now I've got 2 indentations right there. Pop in some of these eyes, just so that it kind of rests somewhere instead of, you know, kind of falling everywhere. So he's supposed to be like a silly little monster fish. Then I've got these sliced apples here, then my star stencil. I'm gonna kind of just use it to guide me on where to cut, because I really cannot cut out a hole with a star because it's plastic, and this apple obviously is pretty hard, so I can't just punch a star into it. Doesn't have to be perfect, just like the general shape of a star. And you can clean it up if you'd like. Make the points a little bit more prominent. Here's our 2 stars. I'm just gonna sprinkle it with pink. Gently rub it in, and it'll eventually kind of color it. And then with the rest of the apples, I just kind of cut them into fry-like shapes. And I'm going to be using the blue one. I'll be doing the same exact thing. Kind of rubbing it in, making it look nice and sandy and blue. I'm just gonna be placing them in here, blue side up. And then I put the starfish right on top. Time for the goldfish. Twizzler, we're just gonna cut it in varying lengths. This is supposed to be the seaweed. Stick it right in here with a fish. For the dessert, we have our vanilla pudding with some blue dye. Mix that nicely. I'm just gonna be dropping in some worms, eyeballs. And here is the finished box. Isn't this so adorable? I really love how this one turned out. Super silly and super cute. Here's another look at everything. I really am excited about every single one of these. Let me know in the comments down below which one you're going to give a try, or which one is your favorite one. And let me know how it turns out as well. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.